Good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We're going to be driving through the city of Batesville, Indiana, which is located off of Interstate 74 in the southeast region of the states. Batesville is located 46 miles northwest of Cincinnati and 66 miles southeast of Indianapolis. The current population is 7,202 people, up by 10.5% growth as of the 2020 census. The population used to be 6,520 people back during the 2010 census. And basically, this community has been growing ever since they first began to record the census, which was back in 1890. And the population back then was 1,169 people. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history about this city. I mean, there's a few minor pieces of history that I didn't feel was as important that I left out because I try to paraphrase things. I try not to plagiarize on this channel, so here it is. Batesville was founded by George H. Dunn, the owner of John Callahan Trust Company. What is known as Batesville today was a piece of land that was purchased by John Callahan Company. This land was used by the company to create towns along the Cincinnati and Indianapolis Railroad during the railroad era. This area was later named after Joshua Bates, who laid out the plans for Batesville. Henry Boehringer, a German immigrant, became Batesville's first major builder in 1859. Between 1860 to 1870, Boehringer built a row of apartments and homes on the north side of the town on Boehringer Street. In 1865, John Brinkman built a hotel and restaurant called the Sherman House, which is still open to this day. In fact, you're going to see it on my video. They're going to see it later on in this video. Sherman House was named in honor of William T. Sherman, who served in the Union Army as a major general during the Civil War. Okay, I'm going to try to pronounce his name, but Sebastian Messersmith built Union Hall, located on the west side of Main Street, in 1865. In 1873, the Greenman Bracket Company began manufacturing under the Greenman family name. That was one of the town's leading businesses for 30 years. Schroeder Furniture Factory opened in 1873. And then the factory was rebuilt in 1875 due to a fire. In 1879, Batesville published their first newspaper called the Prairie Farmer. George M. Hillenbrand served as the town's first mayor during the 1880s. The first town board served without pay. This board had 5 officers. Much of the town's bills were paid by the officers' own money. Imagine that. Now, I wouldn't now honestly, I wouldn't expect none of our elected officials to pay any bills out of their own money, because that just kind of defeats the purpose of them working in the first place. But just imagine if you had politicians that had so much love for their city or their town that they're actually willing to go in their own pocket to make the place better. Now, I'm pretty sure somewhere in this country, probably in some super small town in the middle of nowhere, you might have a few local politicians that might do that. But for the most part, it's, it doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. I mean, nowadays you got a lot of politicians that are, they're greedy, they're money hungry, and they could care less about the people. Now, I will say, for the most part, small towns the politics in many small towns tends to be better than larger communities when it comes to serving the people of the community. I will say that, for the most part, which is one reason why I desire small town living as opposed to living in a larger city. Okay, now let's keep on going. In 1873, okay, I'll remember that part. Okay, the Batesville Casket Company was founded by Batesville in 1884. That was managed by J. Spiegel and then purchased by George M. Hillenbrand in February of 1906. The town jail opened in 1884, and the inmates had to break stone to pay for their stay. So even back in the 1800s, if you did something you shouldn't have done and you got locked up, it was not free. Obviously nowadays, if you get locked up, obviously you're not gonna, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if they take money out of your check when you get a job in jail or prison. I've never been locked up, so I can't really speak on that too much. But all I can say is, if you get in trouble and you get locked up, it's not, whether you're in jail or prison, it's not going to be a free stay. Because, when you look at the money that you got to pay when you get put on probation, those fees can get rather expensive. I'll give you guys an example. There is a factory at the job that I used to work at. This was like several years ago. And I ran into this, individual that, he had just gotten the job. Now, at the time, I was working as a custodian, and he was working. Now, this was a factory. I was working as a custodian, and he was working. I forgot where he was working. I forgot what that area was called. But he was working on the floor. We'll just say that. And me and him got to talking. We was talking for maybe 10, 15 minutes, give or take, during lunch. And, I looked down and I noticed he had an ankle monitor. And he noticed that I looked down and I saw that his ankle monitor, because he was on probation. And he was like, yeah, man, that thing is killing me. And I'm thinking, oh, is it uncomfortable? Can you get it loosened up? No, I ain't talking about that. He's like, no, the money that I have to pay to wear that monitor. And now, remind you, I don't know a damn thing about that type of life because I never lived it. And I'm never going to live it. But he told me that he got put in jail for a little bit of time for, I think it was a DUI offense. And he got out and they put him on probation. And part of his probation was he had to wear an ankle monitor. And for this ankle monitor, he had to pay $475 a month for that monitor. Now, remind you, this was back when rent prices were a lot cheaper than what they are now. And I'm thinking 475. Oh, well, that's about the. I mean, for me, 475. I mean, that's enough money for me to go rent a studio apartment. That's insane. And I'm thinking, damn, okay, well, no wonder why so many people, when they get out of jail or prison and they're put on probation, many of them are broke. I mean, no wonder why. Because not only do they have a criminal record that prevents them from getting certain type of jobs that might pay a little better, but on top of that, when they get put on probation, they have to pay probation fees. So his probation fee, if I'm not mistaken, was $450, which was associated to the fact that he had to wear that ankle monitor. Now, I've talked to other people throughout the years that served a little bit of time in jail, and then when they got put on probation, you know, they talking about $500 a month for their probation fees. And I'm thinking, well, how are these people going to be able to buy food and pay rent? And in many cases, part of probation is if you got children, if you're a man and you got children, they also take child support out of your paycheck. So it's like, okay, well, no wonder why you have a lot of guys that when they get out of jail or prison, they end up homeless, or they get desperate. They get so desperate that they commit crimes to go back in. Because when they get out, some of you might be like, okay, well, they committed the crime, so now they need to serve the time. And whatever happens, it is what it is, you know, tough beans. And to some extent, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, I do got a little bit of, I do got a little bit of grace, you can say, in layman's terms, when it comes to some of the stuff that people who get out of jail and prison have to go through. I do got some level of grace. Now, if the person has been locked up for things that they may have done against the innocent, that's a whole different situation. But people that may have been locked up for nonviolent offenses, now DUI, obviously, if it was my family member that was eliminated due to a DUI, I would be mad, I'm not gonna lie. But in this situation, fortunately, he didn't hit nobody. Now, he could have hit someone, but anyways, I would say in many cases, I'll just put it like this, I would say in many cases, the kind of money that a lot of people have to pay when they get out of jail or prison is crazy. It's insane. And then on top of that, they got to pay child support if they got kids, which is how a lot of these individuals end up in the streets homeless, and then they get desperate and they go back into crime, and then they get locked up again. So anyways, let me keep on going. I kind of went on a little rant. Let me keep on going. Now let's get a little bit more history about this city. So in 1887, Batesville's City Hall, the Batesville City Hall was built. In 1888, James H. Connolly became the first city attorney with a salary of a whopping $35 per year. Now, of course, this was back in the 1800s, $35 a year. Henry F.E. Schrader moved to Batesville and opened a tin shop as well as build homes. Around this time, Henry Kramer opened a grocery store on the corner of Walnut and Bowringer. In 1889, Batesville roads were paved by the stone that came from Hillenbrand and Obertine Stone Quarry that was opened in 1887. The city's first sidewalks were built in February of 1890. and street lamps were also put up during this decade. Now, as far as the economy here in Batesville, I mean, Batesville's largest companies are going to be Batesville Tool and Die, Batesville Casket, and Hillrom. That is spelled Hillrom. Basically, Hillrom, they manufacture hospital beds and healthcare equipment. And of course, you have other companies here that you can go work for if you desire. And if you can't find anything here in town that you want in terms of entertainment, employment opportunities, or what have you, I mean, within an hour of here, less than an hour of here, you got Cincinnati. Now, the racial demographics here are going to be 94.6% white, 0.7% black, 3.3% Asian, and 0.8% Hispanic. Now, crime here for both property and violent are both below national average. Now, if you would like to reside here in Batesville, at least in my humble opinion, housing prices are a little expensive. Now, I will say, I'm going to just give you my 2 cents about the city right now. Now, I will say Batesville could be a nice place to live. I mean, you have all your basic amenities here. You're not far from Cincinnati. Now, the housing prices here are a little steep. Now, for your rent, median rent, your median rent doesn't seem too bad. Your median rent will be $660 to $1,400 a month. Now, if you're looking to purchase, the median home price is $282,000. The cheapest house I've looked at on the realtor.com was priced at $197,000. And let me tell you guys, for that price, you're getting nothing special. For that price, your house will have the house itself. Yeah, you might get maybe in upwards of 1,500 square feet of home. And your lot size is not going to be big. Your lot size might be maybe, 5 to 6,000 square feet for that price. So yeah, housing here, at least in my opinion, is a little expensive. I mean, I know it's a little too expensive for my taste. I mean, nice place. Seems like a clean city. You know, crime is low. That's all good. But, again, if I was going to pay that kind of money for a house, I'd rather live somewhere a little further out where I have more land and I'm not so close to my neighbors. Now we're going to jump over to niche and we're going to see what other people have to say about Batesville. Give me a second here. Let me jump over to niche. All right. Out of 52 total reviews, Batesville has got a 4. What's this? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Batesville has got a 4.5 star rating. One person rates this city as being terrible, 5 rated as being poor, 19 rated as being average, 21 rated as being very good, and 6 give this city an excellent. So we're going to start with the excellent, and we're going to work ourselves down to poor, and I'm going to read maybe 2 to 3 comments per area. So let's go here. Now this first one is a 5-star. It's from October of 2018. I love all of the resources that can be found in Batesville. It also offers safe neighborhoods and lots to do during the day. Good for new families. Here, now the second one, still 5-star, from May of 2018. Well-rounded small town, affordable with many friendly individuals. Batesville has both private and public schools and public school options with many varieties of churches for different religions. And I'll get one more. You know what? I'm going to keep on going. Okay. All right. Here's a 4-star from 4 months ago. The school system overall is very good. The town is safe, and there have been many improvements made since moving here almost 10 years ago. New amenities and shops have opened, creating a better community feel. My only issue is that there is not a ton of diversity in many different. There's not a whole ton of diversity. Okay, whatever. All right. Yeah. All right, here's another 4-star. This one was from August of 2020. I lived here since 1982 when there were only one stoplight and the McDonald's was being built. It has grown so much since then. We are mostly known for Batesville Casket and Hillrom, hospital beds and more. Batesville is in both Ripley and Franklin County. We are an hour from Indianapolis and about the same to Cincinnati/Northern Kentucky. All right, I'm gonna get one more here. From this is a 4-star, July of 2020. Batesville is a town you would raise a family in, with good public schools and safe parks. Your children have many opportunities to grow and learn here. Batesville is just a nice little town to relax in and explore. Alrighty, we're gonna jump down to 3 stars. This first one is a 3-star. It's from 3 months ago. It's a small town that is very safe. The school system here also allows for opportunities to finish up your associate's degree, which helps out students in the future. This town is made up of tight-knit German communities. However, it has little to do and little diversity. And FYI, Batesville does have a heavy German influence, just so you guys know. Okay, here's another 3-star. This is from May of 2019. A nice small town, not much happening. Many families living here have lived here forever. Little to no diversity. High party and weed scene. Very conservative and church-oriented communities. Okay, seems like a rather interesting combination. Typically those things don't go together, but apparently in Batesville they do, at least according to this commenter. Okay, and we're gonna jump down to poor. No, we'll be one more average. Okay, here's another 3-star from May of 2016. There is not much crime in my area. The largest problem that causes crime in my area is the drug use of others. Okay, now we're going to jump down to poor. And this is, in my opinion, this is when some of the comments can get rather interesting. But let's see what they got to say. Okay. Let's see here. This one is from, April of 2015. The state of Indiana just passed a law that allows businesses to turn away services to anyone they so choose. I do not think, okay, they're talking about Indiana. I don't care about that. I'm looking for ones that talk about Batesville specifically. Okay, this one is from March of 2015. Although the area is home of two large companies, they have recently been letting people go. Although they still hire factory workers, the factories are the largest employers in the area. Most people in town have decent paying jobs, but the job outlook in the area is decreasing. Now this is from 2015, so maybe it's still like that today, but I'm thinking it probably has changed for the better, at least for now. Now maybe next year things can get back to being crappy again due to the recession. So if you live in Batesville or you know about Batesville and you're watching the video, drop a comment below and let me know what the deal is on that. Okay, I'm gonna read one more. It's a 2-star, March of 2015. There are not many tourists that come to this area because there is not too much to see or do here. We have a historical museum that people can visit, but there is not much to do on a daily basis. Batesville is known for having cherry thing-a-lang for President Day. Okay. Okay. We're going to jump down to the one person that rated this city as being terrible. Now this is the 1-star from April 2020. When we moved here in 2002, the town called the police on our moving truck for taking up space in the front of the golf course. Had we not had children in school, we would have moved. I wish we had moved though, because the school system here drilled such far left ideas into the heads of my children. Have no independent thoughts, capabilities. Don't move here. Okay, well, that one was kind of a difficult read because of their grammar. I don't know. But anyways, basically what they're saying is they don't like it here. They feel that the school's ideology is too far left leaning. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on it. I don't live in Batesville. Didn't grow up in Batesville. I'm just telling you guys what this person stated. So, okay, so according to this person, don't move to Batesville. The school system sucks. And I guess, in a nutshell, they don't really care about the community out there because he got the cops called on him because of the movers. All right, folks, that's going to do it for my commentary. And this is going to be a longer video. As you guys can see, it's about an hour long. So I would appreciate it if you continue to watch the rest of the video so you get to see more of the city. And on that note, if you want to help me out, all you got to do is give videos like this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so because I will be putting out a lot more videos. And I would like to also take this time to thank everyone that has been watching my videos and has subscribed to the channel and does leave comments in the comment section. So on that note, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.